mer folly than hey ho the holly. This life is most jolly.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. We have a kind of a small turnout today, but Bill just joined us, fortunately, so we got 4 instead of 3, but still kind of a low turnout. We're going to go ahead, and I said before I went live that since we have a low turnout, let's go ahead. We'll plan to each of us perform 2 monologues before we spin for scenes. So that'll be one way we can compensate for not having as many players today. I missed last week, and then I probably created the links a little bit late last night. It's probably my fault. But that said, let's bring up the wheel, and we'll have the order we'll go in will be Sheila, John, myself, and Bill. So Sheila's up first. John's on deck. The first monologue is Sheila's going to be doing. Leontes, going already in his tale, Act 1, Scene 2. So whenever you're ready.
Gone already, inch thick, knee deep, o'er head and ears a forked one? Oh, play, boy, play, thy mother plays, and I play too. But so disgraced a part, whose issue will hiss me to my grave. Contempt and clamor will be my knell. Go, play, boy, play. There have been, or I am much deceived, cuckolds ere now. And many a man there is, even at this present now, while I speak this, holds his wife by the arm that little thinks she has been sluiced in his absence, and his pond fished by his next neighbor, by Sir Smile, his neighbor. Nay, there's comfort in it, while other men have gates, and those gates opened as mine against their will. Should all despair that have revolted wives, the 10th of mankind would hang themselves. Physic for it there is none. It is a body planet that will strike where 'tis predominant. It is powerful, think it, from east, west, north, and south. Be it concluded, no barricado for a belly. No, it will let in and out the enemy with bag and baggage. Many thousand on us have the disease and feel it not. How now, boy? Scene.
Okay, thank you, Sheila. So, John, you are up now. If I'm on deck, I'll go after John does. You put the call up. Mary, God forbid. Richard II, Act 4, Scene 1, the deposing of King Richard scene.
Okay, Richard 2, 4, 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Something wrong here.
Whenever you're
Okay, I've got the scene. I'm scrolling down right now. So I should be able to get this. Is it the Bishop of Carlisle that I have?
Yes, it begins with Mary, God forbid.
Okay. Oh, okay, I have it. I don't know really what's going on here, but Mary, see, in God's name, I'll ascend the regal throne. Mary, God forbid. Worse than this royal presence may I speak, yet best beseeming me to speak the truth. Would God that any in this noble presence were enough noble to be an upright judge of noble Richard, then true noblesse would learn him forbearance from so foully wrong. What subject can give sentence on a king? What subject can give? Okay, and who sits here that is not Richard's subject? Thieves are not judged, but they are by to hear, although apparent guilt be seen in them. And shall the figure of God's majesty, his captains, steward, deputy elect, anointed, crown, planted many years, be judged by subject and inferior breath, and he himself not present? Oh, forfend it, God, that in a Christian climate souls refined should show so heinous, black, obscene a deed. I speak to subjects, and a subject speaks, stirred up by God, thus boldly for his king. My lord of Hereford here, whom you call king, is a foul traitor to proud Hereford's king. And if you crown him, let me prophesy, the blood of English shall manure the ground, and future ages groan for this foul act. Peace shall go sleep with Turks and infidels, and in this seat of peace tumultuous wars shall kin with kin and kind with kind confound. Disorder, horror, fear, mutiny shall here inhabit, and this land shall be called the field of Golgotha and the dead man's skulls. Oh, if you raise this house against this house, it will be the woefulest division prove that ever fell upon this cursed earth. Prevent it, resist it, let it not be so, lest child's children cry against you woe. See.
Hey, thank you, John. Love that one. Okay, so it's my turn now, and then Bill is on deck, and then Henry just joined us. I originally said looked like I thought we were only going to have 3 people, so I said let's give 2 monologues each. If people are in a hurry, let me know. But otherwise, I'm not in a big hurry. I have no problem with all 5 of us doing 2 monologues before we spin for scenes. So anyway, my first monologue will be. King Edward, have I obtained to do my brother's death? Have I a tongue to do my brother's death? And shall the same give pardon to a slave? My brother slew no man, his fault was thought, and yet his punishment was cruel death. Who sued to me for him? Who in my rage kneeled at my foot and bade me be advised and spake of brotherhood? Who spake of love? Who told me how the poor soul did forsake the mighty Warwick and did fight for me? Who told me in the field of Tewkesbury, when Oxford had me down, he rescued me and said, "Dear brother, live and be a king"? Who told me, when we both lay in the field, frozen almost to death, how he did lap me even in his own garments and gave himself, all thin and naked, to the numb cold night? All this from my remembrance, brutish wrath sinfully plucked. And not a man of you had so much grace to put in my mind. But when your carters of your waiting vassals have done a drunken slaughter and defaced the precious image of our dear Redeemer, you straight are on your knees for pardon. Pardon! And I unjustly too must grant it you. For my brother not a man would speak, nor I ungracious speak unto myself for him, poor soul. The proudest of you all have been beholding to him in this life, yet none of you would once plead for his life. O God, I fear thy justice will take hold of me, and you, and mine, and yours for this. Come, Hastings, help me to my closet. Oh, poor Clarence. Okay. So Bill, you're up, and then Henry. Okay. Bill is going to do the ghost. I that incestuous that is the beast.
What is it? You going to read Hamlet?
Yeah.
Oh, so whenever you're ready.
Okay. I, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, oh, wicked wit and gifts that have the power so to seduce, one to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there from me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand even with the vow I made to her in marriage, into decline upon a wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. But virtue, as it never will be moved, though lewdness courted in the shape of heaven, so lust, though to a radiant angel linked, will sate itself in a celestial bed and prey on garbage. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon, upon my secure hour thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed heaven in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect holds such enmity with blood of man that swift as quicksilver it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body, and with a sudden vigor doth posit and curd, like eager droppings into milk, the thin and wholesome blood. So did it mine. And a most instant terror barked about, most lazar-like, with vile and lustsome crust all my smooth body. Thus was I sleeping by a brother's hand, of life of crown of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin, unhoused, disappointed, unannealed, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible, 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 most horrible. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and 'gainst to pale his ineffectual fire. And you, Hamlet, remember me?
Great. Thanks, Bill. Okay, Henry, you're up, and you will be doing. The Porter. Yeah.
What's that?
Act 3, Scene 1 in Macbeth.
Oh,
So,
did you say Act 3, Scene 1 or Act 2, Scene 1?
I might have had it wrong. Was it Act 2, Scene? It said Act 3, Scene 1. That might be wrong. I'm sorry.
So it should be. I'm sorry. What should it be? Can you tell me the act and scene again? I'm confused from what you said.
Okay, I just looked it up. I had it. Wait, it should be Act 2, Scene 3, top of the scene.
Oh,
Act 2,
scenes.
Scene 3. Sorry
Oh,
about that.
there we are. Yes, yeah. Well, here's a knocking indeed. If a man were a porter of Hellgate, he should have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enow about you, and you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Faith, here's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor, come thither for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor, here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock, never at quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Oh, anon, anon, I pray you, remember the porter.
Okay, thank you, Henry. So anyway, when I went live, there were only 3 people. I thought we were going to have a really small group, so I said, let's all do 2 monologues, and 2 more people joined us, thankfully. And I asked, I already said, I'm not in a hurry. There's no reason we can't still do 2 monologues, even though we've got now a fairly decent sized group. So if nobody objects, before we spin for scenes, let's do a second round of monologues. So Shelia's second monologue will be, we're going to go in the same order. Shelia's second monologue is going to be spinning right now. Cassandra, Why Trojans Cry. Troilus and Cressida, Act 2, Scene 2. This is a short one, but short but very powerful.
There. Cry, Trojans! Cry, Trojans, cry! Lend me 10,000 eyes, and I will fill them with prophetic tears. Virgins and boys, middle-aged and wrinkled elves, soft infancy that nothing canst but cry. Add to my clamors. Let us pay betimes a moiety of that mass of moan to come. Cry, Trojans, cry. Practice your eyes with tears. Troy must not be, nor goodly Ilion stand. Our firebrand brother Paris burns us all. Cry, Trojans, cry. A Helen and a woe. Cry, cry. Troy burns, or else let Helen go. Scene.
Okay, awesome. I've only been done once before in Wheel of Shakespeare, so I added it relatively recently, and since I did add it, it hasn't been spun very often. So glad we got to see that. That's a short but very powerful. Okay, John, your turn for your second monologue, and then I'm on deck. John's second monologue is going to be. Benedict, I do much wonder. So it's top of Act 2, Scene 3, after that little interlude with the boy that. So Benedict, Act 2, Scene 3, I do much wonder. So whenever.
Okay. Oh, I have a terrible question. What play is that again? I should know that. What play is it? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just assume everybody knows Shakespeare as well as I do.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I just
that's Much Ado About Nothing, Act 2. Oh, geez, I forgot the. I believe Act 2, Scene 3.
Yeah. Two.
Yeah, Act 2, Scene 3 of Much Ado About Nothing.
Okay. And Benedict's first words are again, please. I'm sorry, I don't have time to write it down.
I do much wonder.
Okay. All right, I have it. Let me see here. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behavior to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow folly in others, become the argument of his own scorn by failing in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife, and now had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe? I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor, and now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier, and now he is turned to orthography. His words are very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted that we with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to another's oyster. But I'll take the oath on it. Till he have made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, and yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I fear an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be what of color it please God. The prince and Monsieur Love. I will bide me in the arbor. Excuse me. The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor. Scene.
Okay, thank you, John. So, my second monologue with Bill on deck will be Gospel. Ooh, it's practically there. You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These are actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air, like the baseless fabric of this vision. The cloud-capped towers, the solemn temples, the gorgeous palaces, the great globe itself, yea, all which th' inherit, shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. Such stuff as dreams are made of. And our little life is rounded with a sleep. Can't get enough of that one. Okay, so Bill, it's your turn for your second monologue. And you will do Hilarious. Now, however, is that Cymbeline that actually scene 3, the very end of the scene. Hilarious. Explaining how he stole
right.
Cymbeline.
What?
The very last speech, right?
Very last speech when the
My fault being nothing.
He explains how he stole them from.
It starts with my fault being nothing.
I believe it says how hard it is to hide the.
Okay. How hard it is to hide the sparks of nature. These boys know little. They are the sons to the king. nor Cymbeline dreams that they are alive. They think they are mine, and though trained up thus meanly in the cave wherein they bow, their thoughts do hit the roofs of palaces, and nature prompts them in simple and low things to prince it much beyond the trick of others. This Polydore, the heir of Cymbeline in Britain, who the king his father called Guiderius, Jove, when on mine 3-footed stool I sit and tell the warlike feats I have done, his spirits fly out into my story, say, thus mine enemy fell, and thus I set my foot on his neck. Even then the princely blood flows in his cheek. He sweats, strains his young nerves, and puts himself in posture that acts my words. The younger brother, Cadwal, once Arviragus, in as like a figure, strikes life into my speech and shows much more his own conceiving. Hark, the game is roused. O Cymbeline, heaven and my conscience knows thou didst unjustly banish me, whereon at 3 and 2 years old I stole these babes, thinking to bar thee of succession, as thou reftest me of my lands. Euryphile, thou wast their nurse. They took thee for their mother, and every day do honor to her grave. Myself, Valerius, that Emma Morgan called, they take for natural father. The game is up.
Okay, thank you. Great job. So lastly, Henry has another monologue to do, and then we will spin for scenes. So Henry, you will do... Friend Roman's countrymen. That's Julius Caesar, Act 3, Scene 2. So whenever you're...
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred within their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it were a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honourable man, so are they all honourable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honourable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Okay, thank you, Henry. Great job today, everybody, on the monologues. Now let's see what scenes the wheel has to offer for us. Othello and Iago. And I said part two. This is, they have their conversation, and then I think then Emilia comes in, having found the handkerchief and so forth. He's already stoked. So I divided the scene into two parts. The part before, the part when he first starts to get Othello's suspicion, and then after the handkerchief, and things go to the next degree. So this is part two. Act 3, scene 2, Othello and Iago. What are the odds of that? I'm gonna not like that's. We'll do the part 2. I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, Antonio and Shylock from IMDb. Merchant, Act 1, Scene 3. And I think Antonio is a small part, so I'll make that just one that I just assign, and Shylock is a decent role for. So Antonio, I'll just assign that. So we need 2 more roles. We just did this one. And we need only 2 roles now. So I ignore that one that I just spun. That should have been taken off the wheel, I think. I keep getting. I got 3 roles already. I just need 2 more, so I got to get a 2-person scene to come up. I'm not having any luck here. Repetition. Sorry about that, you guys. Isabella and Angelo. This is their first encounter, not the one where she flat out confronts him about what a scumbag he is. Isabella and Angelo. Okay. So took a while. I had some mishaps with repetition, but okay. So the 5 roles we have: Othello, Iago, Shylock, Isabella, or Angelo, and then we have a small thing for Antonio. I'll just assign that randomly. So Sheila gets the first choice amongst those. What would you like, Sheila?
Oh, I'll do Isabella.
Okay. John, what would you like?
Othello.
John is going to take Othello. I'll take Iago. Got to do that. And then Bill or Shylock or Angelo at this point.
Shylock.
Okay, so Bill is going to take Shylock, and then so that leaves Henry to be Henry will be Angelo to Shelia's Isabella, and why don't you, since you got the last choice, you'll also be. I'll put you into the small role of Antonio in the merchant scene with Bill. So we're going to do myself and John are going to be Iago and Othello. Then Bill and Henry are going to be Antonio and Shylock. And then Henry and Sheila are going to be Angelo and Isabella.
Sorry, I didn't quite get it. Am I doing two
Yeah,
roles?
I'm putting it because, well, Antonio is a small role in Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 3, Shylock and Antonio. and then you'll do the Act 2, Scene 2, Angelo and Isabella with Shelia. So first, myself and John are going to be Iago and Othello. I believe that's going to start with Avant. You have put me on the rack. I believe that's how that starts. Let's see.
Oh, I thought it started. Is this the first time? They have two different.
Yeah, as I was saying, what we spun first was the second time. You know, when he first starts to make him suspicious, and then and actually Scene 2.
Okay, I'm almost there. Okay, I'm ready.
Sorry, I got the wrong.
Let me know.
Okay, yeah, so Emilia and Desdemona. So they have one bit, then Emilia and Desdemona come in, and then we go back to. This is a long scene. It's hard to let. Exit. Look here. Okay, so it'll be start with re-enter Othello, not Pop, and I'll say not Poppy, nor Mandragora, nor Drazi syrups of the world. Is that where you are?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's just a little bit in front of the quote, "The Avant be gone." But yeah, no, we can do it that way.
Okay, yeah.
So you start then, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'll start from when it says re-enter Othello. Okay.
Yeah.
Not Poppy, nor Mandragora, nor all the drowsy syrups of the world shall ever medicine thee to that sweet sleep which thou owedst yesterday.
False to me.
Why, how now, General? No more of that.
Avant, be gone. Thou hast set me on the rack. Though I swear 'tis better to much abuse than but to note a little.
How now, my lord?
What sense had I of her stone hours of lust? I saw it not, thought it not, it harmed not me. I slept the next night well, was free and merry. I found not Cassio's kisses on her lips. He that is robbed and not wanting what is stolen, let him not know it, then he's not robbed at all.
I'm sorry to hear this.
No, I had been happy if the general camp, pioneers and all, had tasted her sweet body. So I had nothing known. Oh, now forever farewell the tranquil mind. Farewell content. Farewell the plumed troop and the big wars that make ambition virtue. Oh, farewell. Farewell the neighing steed and the shrill trump, the spirit-stirring drum, the ear-piercing fife, the royal banner, and all quality, pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war. And, oh, you mortal engines, whose rude throats the immortal Jove's dead clamors counterfeit, farewell. Othello's occupation's gone.
Is possible, my lord.
Villain, be sure thou prove my love a whore. Be sure of it. Give me the ocular proof. For by the worth of man's eternal soul, thou hast been better been born a dog than answer my wicked wrath.
Is come to this.
Make me to see it, or at the least so prove it that the probation bear no hinge nor loop to hang a doubt on, or woe upon thy life.
My noble lord.
If thou dost slander her and torture me, never pray more. Abandon all remorse. On horror's deed, horrors accumulate. Do deeds to make heaven weep, all earth amazed. But nothing canst thou to damnation add greater than that.
Grace, so heaven forgive me. Are you a man? Have you a soul or sense? God be with you. Take mine offense, O wretched fool, that lives to make thine honesty a vice. O monstrous world, take note, O world. To be direct and honest is not safe. I thank you for this prophet. And from hence I'll love no fiend, sith love breeds such offense.
Nay, stay, thou shouldst be honest.
I should be wise, for honesty's a fool, and loses that it works for.
By the world, I think my wife be honest, and think she is not. I think that thou art just, and think thou art not. I'll have some proof. Her name, that was as fresh as Dian's visage, is now begrimed and black as mine own face. If there be cords or knives, poison or fire or suffocating streams, I'll not endure it. Would I were satisfied.
I see, sir, you are eaten up with passion. I do repent me that I put it to you. You would be satisfied.
Would, nay, I will.
And may, but how? How satisfied, my lord? Would you, the supervisor, grossly gape on? Behold her topped?
Death and damnation. Oh,
It were a tedious difficulty, I think, to bring them to that prospect. Damn them, then, if ever such mortal eyes do see them bolster, more than our own. What then? How then? What shall I say? Where's satisfaction? It is impossible you should see this. For they as prime as goats, as hot as monkeys, as salt as wolves in pride, and fools as gross as ignorance made drunk. But yet, I say, if imputation in strong circumstances which lead directly to the door of truth will give you satisfaction, you may have it.
give me a living reason she is disloyal.
I do not like the office, but sith I am entered in this cause so far, pricked to it by foolish honesty and love, I will go on. I lay with Cassio lately, and being troubled with a raging tooth, I could not sleep. There are a kind of men so loose of soul that in their sleeps will mutter their affairs. One of this kind is Cassio. In sleep I heard him say, "Sweet Desdemona, let us be wary, let us hide our loves." And then, sir, would he gripe and wring my hand, cry, "Oh, sweet creature," and then kiss me hard, as if he plucked up kisses by the roots that grew upon my lips. Then laid I his leg over my thigh and sighed and kissed, and then cried, "Cursed fate that gave thee to the Moor!"
Oh, monstrous, monstrous.
Nay, this was but his dream.
But this denoted a foregone conclusion. 'Tis a shrewd doubt, though it be but a dream.
And this may help to thicken other proofs that do demonstrate thinly.
I'll tear her all to pieces.
Nay, but be wise, yet we see nothing done. She may be honest yet. Tell me but this. Have you not sometimes seen a handkerchief spotted with strawberries in your wife's hand?
I gave her such a one. 'Twas my first gift.
I know not that, but it's a handkerchief. I'm sure it was your wife's. Did I today see Cassio wipe his beard with?
Oh, if it be that.
If it be that, or any that was hers, it speaks against her with the other proofs.
Oh, that the slave had 40,000 lives. One is too poor, too weak for my revenge. Now do I see 'tis true. Look here, Iago. All my fond love thus do I blow to heaven, 'tis gone. Arise, black vengeance, from thy hollow cell. Yield up, O love, thy crown and hearted throne to tyrannous hate. swell bosom with thy fraught, for 'tis of aspics' tongues.
Yet be content.
Oh, blood, blood, blood.
Patience, I say. Your mind perhaps may change.
Never, Iago. Like to the Pontic Sea, where icy current and compulsive course ne'er feels retiring ebb, but keeps due onto the Propontic and the Hellespont, even so my bloody thoughts, with violent face, shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb to humble love, till that a capable and wide revenge swallow them up. Now, by yon marble heaven, in the due reverence of a sacred vow, I here engage my words.
Do not rise yet. Witness, you ever-burning lights above, you elements that clip us round about, witness that here Iago doth give up the execution of his wit, hands, hearts, to wronged Othello's service. Let him command, and to obey shall be in me remorse. What bloody business ever!
I greet thy love, not with vain thanks, but with acceptance bounteous, and will upon the instant put thee to it. Within 3 days, let me hear thee say that Cassio's not alive.
My friend is dead. 'Tis done at your request, but let her live.
Oh, damn her, lewd minx. Oh, damn her. Come, go with me apart. I will withdraw to furnish me with some swift means of death for thee, fair devil. Now art thou my lieutenant.
I am your own forever. Okay, that was awesome. Okay, so we have Antonio and Shylock. Henry and Bill. The two of you have both found where you're starting from for this?
I'll set here.
Okay.
Where are we doing? Sorry, I'm completely.
Antonio and Shylock, Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 3.
Okay.
Ready? You got it, Henry?
Yes. What role am I doing? Oh, enter. Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay. 3,000 ducats. Well,
Where's Bassanio?
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are we starting? Not at the top of the scene.
I think so. 3-3. 1-3 rather. 1-3.
Yes. No, I just see I'm in the shot, but I shouldn't be there, should I? What am I playing? Am I playing?
I served for 3 months.
I believe it's Antonio. I think Bassanio might be in there with like 1 or 2 lines that you can ignore. I'm trying to remember the scene.
Oh, I'm sorry. So we're doing.
I believe this is when they make the bond. It's mostly Shylock. That's why I didn't count. I made this role for Antonio just as an extra to add on for Henry.
So
Who's playing Bassanio? Who's playing Bassanio?
If you need a Bassanio, let me see. Let me try to find. I guess I'll jump in for that. But let me see. I thought there was a bit that was just Antonio.
Well, it could be, but if you want to start with Antonio, we have to go to the start of the scene.
Shylock. Let's see. So the scene is. Okay, so it's just the. Yeah, how to remember this. Okay, I'll play Bassanio if that makes it.
So we're going to start from the top.
Okay, if that makes it easier for you, yeah, I'll be. Okay, yeah. So start from the top, then 3,000 ducats. Well,
3,000 ducats. Oh, well,
aye, sir, for 3 months.
for 3 months. Well,
For the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound.
Antonio shall become bound. Well,
May you stead me? Will you pleasure me? Shall I know your answer?
3,000 ducats for 3 months and Antonio bound.
You answer to that.
Antonio's a good man.
Have you heard any imputation to the contrary?
Oh, no. My meaning in saying he is a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. Yet his means are in supposition. He hath an argosy bound to Tripoli, another to the Indies. I understand, moreover, upon the Rialto, he hath a third at Mexico, a fourth for England, and other ventures he hath squandered abroad. But ships are but boards, sailors but men. There be land rats and water thieves and land thieves. I mean pirates. And then there's the peril of waters, winds, and rocks. A man is, notwithstanding, sufficient. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take his bond.
Be assured you may.
I will be assured I may. And that I may be assured I will bethink me. May I speak with Antonio?
If it please you to dine with us.
Yes, to smell pork, to eat of the habitation which your prophet the Nazarite conjured the devil into, I will buy with you, sell with you, talk with you, walk with you, and so following. But I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. What news on the Rialto? Who has come here?
This is Signor Antonio.
How like a fawning publican he looks. I'd hate him, for he is a Christian, but more for that in low simplicity he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance here with us in Venice. If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed the fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails even there where merchants most do congregate. On me, my bargains, and my well-won thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him.
Shylock, do you hear?
I am debating of my present store, and by the near guess of my memory, I cannot instantly raise up the gross of a full 3,000 ducats. Well, what of that? Tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe, will furnish me. But soft, how many months do you desire? Rest you fear, good Signor, your worship was the last man in our mouths.
Shylock, although I neither lend nor borrow by taking nor by giving of excess, yet to supply the right wants of my friend I'll break a custom. Is he yet possessed how much ye would?
Aye, 3,000 ducats.
And for 3 months?
I had forgot. 3 months. You told me so. Well, then, your bond, and let me see. But hear you. We thought you said you neither lend nor borrow upon advantage.
I do never use it.
When Jacob grazed his uncle Laban's sheep, this Jacob from our holy Abram was, as his wise mother wrought in his behalf, the third possessor. Aye, he was the third.
And what of him? Did he take interest?
No, not take interest, not, as you would say, directly interest, Mark. What Jacob did when Laban and himself were compromised that all the inglings which were streaked and pied should fall to Jacob's hire, the ewes being rank in the end of autumn turned to the rams. And when the work of generation was between these woolly breeders in the act, the skillful shepherd peeled me certain wands, and in the doing of the deed of kind, he stuck them up before the fulsome ewes, who then conceiving did in eaning time fall party-colored lambs, and those were Jacob's. This was a way to thrive, and he was blessed. And thrift is blessing, if men steal it not.
This was a venture, sir, that Jacob served for, a thing not in his power to bring to pass, but swayed and fashioned by the hand of heaven. Was this inserted to make interest good, or is your gold and silver ewes and rams?
I cannot tell. I make it breed as fast. But note me, senor.
Mark you this, Bassanio. The devil can cite scripture for his purpose. An evil soul producing holy witness is like a villain with a smiling cheek, a goodly apple rotten at the heart. Oh, what a goodly outside falsehood he hath.
3,000 ducats. 'Tis a good round sum. 3 months from 12, then let me see. The rate.
Well, Shylock, shall we be beholding to you?
Signor Antonio, many a time and oft in the Rialto you have rated me about my moneys and my usances. Still have I borne it with a patient shrug, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spit upon my Jewish gabardine, and all for use of that which is mine own. Well then, it now appears you need my help. Go to then. You come to me and you say, Shylock, we would have monies. You say so. You that did void your room upon my beard and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. Monies is your suit. What should I say to you? Should I not say, hath the dog money? Is it possible the cur can lend 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bend low and in a bondman's key with bated breath and whispering humbleness say this? Fair sir, you spit on me on Wednesday last. You spurned me such a day. Another time you called me dog. And for these courtesies, I'll lend you thus much monies.
I am as like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, and spurn thee too. If thou wilt lend this money, lend it not as to thy friend. For when I did friendship take a breed for barren metal of his friend. But lend it rather to thine enemy, who, if he break, thou mayest with better face exact the penalty.
Why, look you, how you storm. I would be friends with you and have your love, forget the shames that you have stained me with, supply your present wants, and take no doit of usance for my monies. And you'll not hear me. This is kind I offer.
This were kindness.
This kindness will I show. Go with me to a notary. Seal me there your single bond. And in a merry sport, if you repay me not on such a day, in such a place, such sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, let the forfeit be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh, to be cut off and taken in what part of your body pleases me.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, is that me? I've got a bit lost here. What was the last thing you said?
I said, in what part of your body pleaseth me?
Oh, sorry. Content, i' faith, I'll steal to such a bond and say there is much kindness in the Jew.
You shall not steal to such a bond from me. I'd rather dwell in my necessity.
And why, fear not, man, I will not forfeit it. Within these 2 months, that's a month before this bond expires, I do expect return of thrice 3 times the value of this bond.
Oh, Father Abram, what these Christians are, whose own hard dealings teach them suspect the thoughts of others. Pray you, tell me this. If he should break his day, what should I gain by the exaction of the forfeiture? A pound of man's flesh taken from a man is not so estimable, profitable neither as flesh of muttons, beefs, or goats. I say, to buy his favor, I extend this friendship. If he will take it, so. If not, adieu. And for my love, I pray you, wrong me not.
Yes, Shylock, I will seal unto this bond.
Then meet me forthwith at the notary's. Give him direction for this merry bond, and I will go and purse the ducat straight. See to my house, left in the fearful guard of an unthrifty knave, and presently I will be with you.
Hie thee, gentle Jew. The Hebrew will turn Christian. He grows kind.
I like not fair terms in a villain's mind.
Come on, in this there can be no dismay. My ships come home a month before the day.
Okay. So now, lastly, you and Shelia will do your Angelo and Isabella scene. Do you both know where to? It's hard because Henry had to do the previous scene before that. I'm sure Shelia has probably had time to find it. Maybe she can help him out, figure out where to start from. So whenever you're ready, we'll do our final.
I'm asking because there are a couple of lines inserted from the Provost and Lucio. So I don't know if you need somebody to come in for those. They're very sporadic, just here and there.
You need me to do that? You need to let me find the scene so I can follow along with you, or you can just skip them if you think it won't.
I think we can skip it. I don't think any of them are seriously.
Okay, yeah, just skip them if they're not going to break the continuity.
Okay.
What are we on? Act what? Act scene.
Act 2, Scene 2. It says enter Isabella and Lucio, but we'll just skip the Provost lines and Lucio's lines.
So we go from where
it's
Isabella
about a
comes
quarter of the way into the scene.
So we start. Where are we starting? Sorry.
Enter Isabella and Lucio, but we'll skip the Provost and Lucio.
Sorry. So we're starting. Well, what's the line?
You're going to say, "You're welcome. What's your will?" And we can take it from there. You are welcome.
Okay. Yes, got it. Sorry. You're welcome. What's your will?
I am a woeful suitor to your honor. Please, but your honor, hear me.
Well, what's your suit?
There is a vice that most I do abhor, and most desire should meet the blow of justice, for which I would not plead, but that I must.
For
which I must not plead, but that I am at war twixt will and will not.
Well, the matter?
I have a brother, is condemned to die. I do beseech you, let it be his fault, and not my brother.
Condemn the fault, and not the actor of it. Why, every fault's condemned ere it be done. Mine were the very cipher of a function, to find these faults whose fine stands on record, and let go by the actor.
Oh, just but severe law. I had a brother then, heaven keep your honor. Must he needs die?
Maiden, no remedy.
Yes, I do think that you might pardon him, and neither heaven nor man grieve at the mercy.
I will not do it.
But can you, if you would?
Look, what I will not, that I cannot do.
But might you do it, and do the world no wrong, if so your heart were touched with that remorse as mine is to him?
He's sentenced. 'Tis too late.
Too late? Oh, my, no. I that do speak a word may call it back again. Well, believe this, no ceremony that to great one longs, not the king's crown, nor the deputed sword, the marshal's truncheon, nor the judge's robe, but become them with one half so good a grace as mercy does. If he had been as you and you as he, you would have slipped like him, but he, like you, would not have been so stern.
Pray you be gone.
I would to heaven I had your potency, and you were Isabel. Should it then be thus? No, I would tell what 'twere to be a judge, and what a prisoner.
Your brother is a forfeit of the law, and you but waste your words.
Alas, alas, why all the souls that were forfeited once, and he that might the vantage best have found out the remedy. How would you be if he, which is the top of judgment, should but judge you as you are? Oh, think on that. And mercy then will breathe within your lips like man new made.
Be you content, fair maid, it is the law, not I condemn your brother. Were he my kinsman, brother, or my son, it should be thus with him. He must die tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, that's sudden. Spare him, spare him. He's not prepared for death. Even for our kitchens we kill the fowl of season. Shall we serve heaven with less respect than we do minister to our gross selves? Oh, good my lord, bethink you, who is it that hath died for this offence? There's many have committed it.
The law hath not been dead, though it had slept. Those many had not dared to do that evil, if the first that did the edict infringe had answered for his deed. Now to the wake, takes note of what is done, and like a prophet looks in a glass that shows what future's evils, either new or by the remissness new conceived, and so in progress to be hatched and born, and now to have no successive degrees, but ere they live to end.
Yet show some pity.
I show it most of all when I show justice, for then I pity those I do not know, which a dismissed offence would after gall, and do him right that answering one foul wrong lives not to act another. Be satisfied, your brother dies tomorrow, be content.
So you must be the first that gives this sentence, and he that suffers. Oh, 'tis excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant. Could great men thunder as Jove himself does, Jove would never be quiet, for every pelting petty officer would use his heaven for thunder. Nothing but thunder. Merciful heaven, thou rather with thy sharp and sulphurous bolt splitst the unwedgeable and gnarled oak than the soft myrtle. But man, proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what he's most assured, his glassy essence like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as make the angels weep, who with our spleens would all themselves laugh mortal. We cannot weigh our brother with ourself. Great men may jest with saints, 'tis wit in them, but in the less foul profanation. That in the captain's but a choleric word, which in the soldier is flat blasphemy.
Why do you put these sayings upon me?
Because authority, though it err like others, hath yet a kind of medicine in itself that skins the vice o'er the top. Go to your bosom, knock there, and ask your heart what it doth know that's like my brother's fault. If it confess a natural guiltiness such as is his, let it not sound a thought upon your tongue against my brother's life.
He speaks, and 'tis such sense that my sense breeds with it. Fare you well.
Gentle my lord, turn back.
I will bethink me. Come again tomorrow.
Hark now, how I bribe you. Good my lord, turn back.
How? Bribe me?
I, with such gifts that heaven shall share with you, not with fond shekels of the tested gold, or stones whose rates are either rich or poor as fancy values them, but with true prayers that shall be up at heaven and enter there ere sunrise, prayers from preserved souls, from fasting maids whose minds are dedicate to nothing temporal.
Well, come to me tomorrow.
Heaven keep your honor safe.
Heaven keep your honor safe. Oh, sorry. Amen. For I am that way going to temptation where prayers cross.
At what hour tomorrow shall I attend your lordship?
At any time, forenoon.
Save your honor.
From thee, even so Isabella's gone now. From thee, even from thy virtue. What's this? What's this? Is this her fault or mine? The tempter or the tempted? Who sins most? Ha! Not she, nor does she tempt, but it is I, that, lying by the violet in the sun, do as the carrion does, not as the flower, corrupt with virtuous season. Can it be that modest may more be... Sorry, I'm having trouble with my script here. Can it be that modesty may more betray our sense than woman's lightness? Having waste ground enough, shall we desire to raise the sanctuary and pitch our evils there? Oh, fie, fie, fie! What dost thou, or what art thou, Angelo? Dost thou desire her foully for those things that make her good? Oh, let her brother live. Thieves for their robbery have authority when judges steal themselves. What? Do I love her, that I desire to hear her speak again and feast upon her eyes? What is't I dream on? Oh, cunning enemy, that to catch a saint with sins dost bait thy hook. Most dangerous is that temptation that doth goad us on to sin in loving virtue. Never could the strumpet with all her double vigour, art and nature, once stir my temper, but this virtuous maid subdues me quite. Even till now, when men were fond, I smiled and wondered how.
Okay, thank you. Great performances today, everybody. Thanks for participating with us. Thanks for those of you who are watching. And we'll see you same time next week on this channel for the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. See you soon. Bye now.